Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
Pow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 181 of Wrestling is Trash. I, of course, am Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast and co-host of Wrestling is Trash. And I'm here on the solo tip for you today, but we'll get in more into why that is a little later. But before we do all that, let's do our intro and welcome you to Wrestling is Trash, the nonsensical wrestling podcast, where we talk all things professional wrestling, past, present, and possibly the future, in our never-ending quest to end wrestling toxicity. Once again, it's your boy Lou from the BX. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. I'm just going to talk to you real, because it's just you and us today. You're going to be on the solo journey, the solo creep with me today, as I talk to you about some wrestling stuff, and we kind of catch up on the last 2 weeks and kind of get into this weekend, which is one of the bigger weekends for a certain promotion called AEW. But guys, I'm here. I figured, don't panic. Nick is coming back. It's okay. I know the ladies are all here for Nick, so I don't want to lose you. I'm just letting you know, Nick is on assignment right now. He's doing his thing. Nick's got a lot going on, so he is taking this week off as he's training and doing his secret agent shit. So we did not do an episode last week because both of us were kind of caught up. I was busy at work. He was busy at work. And I think, honestly, we kind of, I'm going to say pause before and after I say this, but I think we both kind of blew our loads when it pause. I didn't say the pause before, so let me pause, blew our loads, pause again. That WrestleMania weekend. That weekend was just, it was insanity. There was Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, WrestleMania nights 1 and 2, NXT Stand and Deliver. It was almost too much. But I'm not gonna sit here and go over all the cards and over all the things, because I feel like it's kind of too late for that. So by the way, happy 420 to those who celebrate that. I am recording this on Saturday, 420. Yesterday was my birthday. So happy birthday to this guy. I am 46 years old, and I feel good. I feel better than I felt in a long time. But yeah, I don't want to go over all the stuff that we missed. I kind of want to touch on a couple of things and just kind of get into what's going on for this week, because there was a lot last week. But overall, man, WrestleMania was awesome. WrestleMania Night 2, I feel like outshined. Is that a word? It outshined Night 1. Last year, I think it was kind of the other way around as far as excitement level and kind of like what was delivered. But Night 2 was, Night 2 of WrestleMania this year was fucking incredible. Cody finished the story. I mean, we had, I think every match on that card delivered what it was supposed to. It was fantastic. It started off hot with Rhea and Becky. That match was awesome, and they went full bore. They just went all the way down. That championship match with Roman Reigns and Cody was, we were expecting kind of like the Avengers Endgame moment, and we basically got that. I mean, we had The Undertaker show up. We had Seth Rollins show up in his Shield attire. We had Solo and Jimmy and Jay, everybody getting involved. It was madness. It was a great match. It was a fun match. It delivered on everything. They sent the crowd home super happy. Cody got his full 20 minutes of celebration, which I thought was great, because sometimes with these shows, these guys, they don't really get their chance to do their celebrations and celebrate these things, especially sometimes on Raw. I always think about that one Nikki Cross match when she beat Charlotte with that fucking top rope high cross body. And she got to celebrate literally for like a whole 3 seconds, and then they cut away and they ended the show. So that does happen, but I was glad to see Cody got his full thing. Brandy got to come out. the kids, the family, his mom. He gave the mom the belt. I mean, it was a beautiful thing. It was awesome. I thought it was great. WrestleMania was fantastic. Super Card of Honor was also really, really good. It was a great start to the weekend. I had a blast watching that pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it, even though the card on paper didn't really look all that great. The pay-per-view itself was very, very good. I enjoyed it very much. Stand and Deliver, I don't even remember really watching aside from Trick Mello, which was great. And I can't really remember anything else from that match. Now I'm trying to remember shit from 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, but overall, man, that weekend was fantastic. Just WrestleMania was just WrestleMania. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling. And it was trying to make sure I don't miss anything besides all the crap that went on the week of with the shots back and forth being fired by both companies. Like, you know, I don't want to touch too much on that. I do want to talk about the reactions to it though online, which is pretty sad if you ask me. A lot of the times with a lot of these people who farm engagement and just they live and die by like attendance and ratings instead of just like watching the stuff that they like and enjoying it and kind of not watching the stuff they like. Again, we constantly go over these things every week, but it's like if you don't like something and you think it's inferior or you just, you're not interested in it, why do you give it attention in the first place? Just don't watch it and don't pay attention to it. Enjoy the show that you like watching and keep it pushing. Like, nobody wants to hear about your negative opinions, bro. Nobody cares. Well, I mean, actually, that's a lie. There's a subset of people who really enjoy negative opinions, as you can see by some of these podcasters out there who have very high views and very high numbers because they placate to those people. I refuse to do that. I'm not going to sit here and be going, bro, the fucking AEW, they're fucking WWE, they're doing this shit and it sucks and they should be doing this. Hey, bro, this show's not about that. This show is about talking about wrestling, the sport of wrestling, and enjoying it and having fun. So, again, we don't do that toxic shit here, and I refuse to deal with it. So I'm not going to be one of these fools that you see on Twitter posting their little clips of them being angry and talking shit and doing all that. No, we talk about the positive shit here. So, again, great, super awesome WrestleMania weekend. Wrestling, there was something for everybody that weekend. I mean, there was so much wrestling, my God. Things that I don't even have like time to talk about. But one thing that did kind of so in all this, CM Punk, the interview, I'm sure you guys know already, he had the interview, he told his side of the story for Brawl Out and Brawl In or whatever. Tony Khan decided to air the CM Punk footage. And again, this is super old, so I'm just going to get this done, and we're going to move on. He decided to air the footage from Brawl Out. And Nick and I were, like, captivated. First of all, I thought it was going to be a work. Like, when we were watching Wednesday, and they started showing the footage, and they showed CM Punk kind of walk up to Jack Perry. Since it was like from you saw the back of CM Punk with like the jacket and just his head, I thought it was gonna be like a work. Like I thought it was like a fake person pretending to be CM Punk, and they were gonna do some silly shit with the video. But then as the video was playing, I was like, oh no, this is like actually the real video. And then I got a little worried because I was like, okay, well, like what is this? What's the point of this? And they showed the video, and literally everything that happened on the video is exactly what CM Punk said happened. And it was like, when it was over, I mean, the Young Bucks tried to, use it to make an angle out of it, saying that they were unable to, the reason they lost their titles at the show is because they weren't able to concentrate. They had to be CEOs and deal with this bullshit, and they couldn't prepare for their match properly, and that's why they lost to FTR at, the Wembley show. Which was cool. It was cool that they used an angle, a wrestling angle, to try to get that thing over. And, give us a reason why they're showing this video. But when it was over, like I was so like distracted because then FTR comes out, they cut this promo, and they were basically saying what everybody else thought, which is like, why can't we get over this shit? Why are we showing this? Can we move on? Which is my feeling about the whole thing, and I believe it's Nick's feeling about the whole thing, although I won't put words in his mouth. But like when the video ended, I was just so like, what the fuck was the point of that? Like, why did we show that? Like, there was no, like, I couldn't think of a positive reason why you showed that. And I think a lot of people felt that same way. And then the CM Punk, the CM Punk crew out there, the guys who eat, breathe, and live everything that guy does, they were cheering and, oh, why the fuck? Why did you? The AEW sucks. They posted this. They don't know what they're doing. They got CM Punk chants in their building, which is, of course, another thing that's like, that's not good. You definitely don't want every time the Young Bucks come out now for them to be getting CM Punk chants. So not good. I don't think it was a good thing. And that was last week. Thankfully, this week's Dynamite, which was the go home show for, where's this dog going? Oh, where are you going, dog? As you can see, her and I are both shoosh. You want to show them your Knicks jersey? No? You don't want to show them your jersey? We're all decked out in Knicks regalia. The game is on in literally 10 minutes, and I decided to record this fucking podcast now. That's how much I love all of you. So, listen, that was last week. This week was the go-home show for the Dynasty pay-per-view that's coming up this weekend. Thank God there was no mention of any videos or any chicanery or any of that bullshit. We moved on from it. We had a great show, I think. The Wednesday show was a very fun, entertaining show. You had a great angle at the end with Joe and Swerve to set up the title match. I think it was a great show. You had Will Ospreay versus Claudio. They had a fantastic wrestling match. Overall, I very much enjoyed the show. And what I enjoyed about it the most was that they moved on from the bullshit, which is what I would like all of these people on Twitter to do, is to move on from the bullshit. I swear to God, we're going to make a dent in this IWC toxicity. We're going to do it. Somehow, some way, this podcast is going to make it happen. So I'm telling you, because it's really, I don't know how many more people I can block. I really don't know how many more people I can block. It's just so sad out there with people fighting, and every time people don't even watch AEW, but then every time AEW does something that one of the podcasts that they listen to say is bad, they have to get on Twitter and be like, "Oh, AEW did this. Why are they doing this?" Or like, dog, you don't even watch it, so why do you care? Why are you saying names of people? They mention Tony Khan and they mention like people on the show, and it's like, you don't even watch. Why do you give a fuck? Doesn't make any sense to me, but again, this is what they do. This is what they love doing. So anyway, that's my little mini opening rant to open this show. I figured, I'd come on here, talk a little shit, and get an episode out for you guys who might enjoy this, and just talk a little boberia here about what's going on, go over the Dynasty card, and call it a day. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So Forbes magazine put an article out ranking the top most valuable combat sports promotions. And the top 5 promotions, I'm going to read them for you right now. Number 1 is the UFC, $11.3 billion. WWE came in at number 2, with $6.8 billion. AEW came in at number 3 at $2 billion. One Championship came in at $1.3 billion, and Matchroom Boxing came in at $850 million. So the reason I wanted to kind of like bring that up is because a lot of the talk on online discourse is that AEW is dying for some reason. They continue to say AEW is dying. It's dead in the water. Nobody's going to their shows. Yada yada yada. And they're right below WWE as far as value goes. So this shit writes itself. It's hilarious. first of all, even if you're a fan of just WWE, why you would want AEW to go out of business is beyond me. Because then you're gonna have all these people with no job, and you're gonna have all this talent who's not gonna be able to be signed by WWE, and they're just gonna have to go off and find work elsewhere at some indie promotion or TNA or GCW or one of these other places. Like, having another big wrestling company is really fantastic for the business in total. Like, I don't know why you don't understand that, but there's like a large subset of people who want, for some reason, AEW to just go away and just die and be destroyed. So it's only WWE. I only want my WWE. That's all I want. It's like, again, if you don't like AEW, you don't have to watch. The more attention you pay to them is like you're actually doing yourself a disservice. So I just thought I'd read that because I thought it was hilarious that they're in third place as far as value for all of combat sports. Do you know how big combat sports is? I'm talking about Pride FC and all these other boxing promotions and all these other mini like ultimate fighting promotions, and you're talking about AEW's in third place. They're number 3 out of all of them. That's pretty huge. So again, AEW doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and thank God, because I enjoy that show very much, and I would be really sad if it did go somewhere. On this Rampage taping that we had this past week, which was Wednesday, which is actually gonna air tonight's Saturday, so it's gonna air tonight, so we'll be able to watch it. Ruby Soho announced her pregnancy during the Rampage tapings, and this is with the angle that's been going on with Cool Hand Ange and Ruby Soho, which some people were like, is this like, are they actually together? Are they not together? I thought that they were together. It seemed like they're together. I don't follow them individually on like social media, so I really don't know if they're like posting stuff together, but it seemed like more than just an angle to me. And now it's confirmed because Ruby is pregnant. So I just wanted a little positivity out there. Send a shout out to Cool Hand Ange and Ruby Soho. Congratulations on the upcoming baby. That's a beautiful thing. We won't be seeing Ruby in the ring for quite a while, but that's okay because she's going to be taking on this new role of a mother, and I think that's wonderful. So shout out to them. And keeping it moving, WWE has got some new titles. So if I did my due diligence, did I do my due diligence? I think I did. I think this is it, right? Bam. Well, it's kind of like intertwined with another picture, but kind of silly. But there it is right there. Boom. The new SmackDown tag team titles. They're fucking beautiful. Those titles are delicious. Like, I think those titles are amazing. They look super like the old school WWE titles. They actually almost remind me of the NWA tag team titles too. Beautiful titles, bro. The only thing I don't the only thing I don't get about it though is like now we have like a bunch of titles on SmackDown that none of them really like. I mean, aside from the men's and women's heavyweight championships, now the tag titles look completely different from the US title and from the women's tag team titles. Like the women's tag team titles don't look like any other belt. The US title obviously doesn't look like anything else. It's its own. I think the US title though, it's just very special. Like that design, especially the one with the big eagle. I like it a lot. I hope they don't change it. But this style doesn't look like that. It is not close to looking like that. It's not close to looking like the women's tag titles. These belts don't look anything close to the WWE, Universal. I don't know whose is what. I think the heavyweight title is on Raw, right? And Cody has the Universal Undisputed Championship, whatever the fuck it's called. Well, his belt doesn't look anything like this. Now the women's heavyweight and the men's heavyweight look the same, but then there's these things that they look. So that, to me, that's the only thing. There's no like fluidity between like the styles of the titles, which they didn't really have it before anyway with the tag titles with those Spartan penny nickel looking fucking titles. I hated those. There's just no fluidity to like them looking. I mean, on Raw, it's a little closer because you got the heavyweight title, and then you got your tag titles that basically look like smaller versions of the heavyweight title, and you got your women's title, which looks identical to the men's title. So there's your fluidity there. Your intercontinental title looks kind of close to what you got going on with your other titles, so it's a little closer on Raw, but like SmackDown's designs are like all over the place. That's why I was curious to see if they're gonna do a new title for Cody, because looking at these things, it's like they look really good, and I can imagine there's something in the works for Cody as far as a new belt. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I thought that was pretty freaking cool. And keeping in vein with WWE, last night while watching SmackDown and on the news that WWE is, top 2 or 3 in value, we got some releases from WWE, which is, of course, because whenever they talk about how much money they make, people get released. So we have 5 releases happen last night, and they were very specific releases. So Zion Quinn, Jinder Mahal, Veer Mahan, Sangha, and Xia Li were all released last night. Xia Li put out a post, a very long post, talking about her being thankful and thank you to Triple H and the talent, and she made a very nice post. I have not heard anything from Zion Quinn about his release, but Jinder Mahal and Sangha seem to have some kind of problem or chip on their shoulder regarding their releases. If you go by their Twitter posts, which are being very vague, but you can tell that there's something that they want to say, but they're not able to say it yet, I guess, because they're on a 90-day non-compete. So I guess in 3 months from now, we'll probably be hearing more about that. But Sangha was on Instagram Live, and he was talking about there's no longer any Indian talent in the WWE after these releases, and that he was alluding to the fact that while WWE wants all these numbers coming in from like the Indian market as far as YouTube views and merchandise sales and all these things, they don't really portray Indian talent on their TV to kind of reciprocate that. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing something soon. Listen, whatever companies it might be, releases happen. It's a business at the end of the day. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, WWE bad for releasing people. It happens. It happens in AEW. It happens in WWE. It happens everywhere. There's always going to be releases. And then people come back and, they re-sign and they do things like that. So, and there's plenty of work out there for everybody. So I wish the best for these 5 people. I hope that they can find, some success out there wherever they go, wherever they decide to do. And I'll take Xia Li in AEW all day because she's awesome. And that's nothing against anyone else on that list. I just think she would be a great addition. So listen, guys, Windy City Riot was last week, and my God, what a pay-per-view. Holy shit. We talk about on the show all the time that like we're not experts on New Japan stuff, but when I saw this card, I was pretty hyped on the show. I mean, you had Matt Riddle on the card. You had Jon Moxley in the main event. Zack Sabre Jr. You had I'm sorry, I got distracted. There's something going on outside my window. It really looks like my neighbors are arguing. I'm being super nosy right now. Anyway, Mustafa Ali was on the show. It was a bunch of people on the show, and it was a fantastic pay-per-view. I mean, I bought it last minute thinking this card, you know what, but just from this card, I'm gonna just go ahead and buy this, even though I wasn't completely familiar with everyone on there. But I knew enough people on that card, and I knew enough about the stories that I was like, I'm going to enjoy this. And my God, did I. One of the best pay-per-views I saw this year. The main event was fantastic. I don't know if these people who are talking about the main event wasn't good. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know whose opinion that is. But I thought the main event was dope. Jon Moxley becoming the IWGP champion, the first person to hold the WWE AEW and IWGP championship in history. That's literally history. So, you know, I thought the pay-per-view was dope. I didn't really feel like there was a bad match on there. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed the 6-woman tag, the tag team match, even the angle that they played out at the end kind of got me like excited about watching more New Japan. Like Red Narita coming out and attacking Moxley. That dude looks like a psychopath. So I was like interested in seeing where that goes. So I'm like invested. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about New Japan. So that's exciting because that seems like a fun show to watch. That show was fun. That's one thing I can say about that show was that it was fun as shit. So if they're gonna keep pumping out stuff like that, I'm down. I'm down to watch it all. So listen, I'm not gonna take up too much of you guys' time. I just wanted to, get a quickie episode out here. So let's go ahead and talk about this Dynasty show. See, I got these pictures up, but they're not working quite like I wanted them to. That's not exactly. See, this stuff saved, but it didn't save right. I'm a little annoyed now. So this card, I think I'm just going to skip the pictures altogether because I don't think that they came out right. Let's see. We'll start with this one here. So this card looks like an all-timer card. Like, honestly, when I saw that this card started to come together, and just looking at these 8 matches that I'm looking at here, like, dude, I wish the picture would actually work because I could just put it all there for you. But honestly, AEW rarely ever. I mean, I've never seen them have a bad pay-per-view. And again, every time I say that, I kind of feel like, am I jinxing them right now? But looking at this card, like, and the stories that they've built up to get here, it's like these pay-per-views are always worth the purchase, like every single time. I've never regretted buying a pay-per-view. I've never regretted going to the theater to watch one of these shows. Like, it's always at least good. Like, at least good. You know what I mean? So, look, okay, I was gonna. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Why did this download like that, dude? It's so weird. Again, guys, you know how it is on this show. There's always technical issues and technical difficulties. So I think maybe that picture is not going to work out, but these other ones should be good. So we'll just try to go from there. We'll just try to wing it and see how this goes. So anyway, let's start with the one match that I definitely don't give 2 shits about and don't want to see, and don't think should be on this show, but is on this show. But let's start here. Let's start with Chris Jericho versus Hook for the FTW Championship. So the story of this card revolves around Chris Jericho taking Hook to be his young boy. He feels like Hook needs better direction in his life, and that anyone who gets sucked into the Jericho vortex always comes out better on the other end. So now they were teaming up for a little bit. There was issues there. They were beefing, and Chris Jericho was being a little disrespectful to Taz, who's Hook's father, and now they're wrestling for the FTW title. Now, here's my thing. I'm pretty sure Jericho's going to win this match, and he's going to win the FTW championship, which is fucking, in and of itself, ridiculous, because this belt has no legal standing in any promotion. Like, it means nothing. Being the FTW champion literally means nothing in AEW. I don't know why they continue with this belt. I mean, the only reason I understand it is because Hook is Taz's son. That's it. No one else should have this belt. Unless they're doing like the Team Taz thing where they did before, where Brian Cage had it. That I understood. That was Taz putting his stamp on the guy. But now this belt is just being defended, and they continue to say it has no, like, it's nothing. It means nothing in this promotion, yet we're still defending it on our shows. So I'm pretty sure Jericho's going to win because he lost the previous match. So, of course, he got to get his lick back. And I'm pretty sure Jericho's going to win. So that's my pick right there. I'm picking Chris Jericho. Not because I want to, but because I think that's what's going to happen. So I don't know the exact match card. I don't know how exactly it's going to go. But there's also a bunch of matches on 0 Hour, which I'm only going to bring up one of those matches, and that's the ROH and Trios Tag Team title match, which is being defended. It's not being defended. Well, it is being defended, but the Acclaimed have the AEW Trios titles. Bullet Club Gold have the Ring of Honor Trios titles, and they're both going to fight, and whoever wins gets the Undisputed Trios championships. Now, I only bring this up because I want Bullet Club Gold to win this, take those belts, make them one set of belts, and actually defend them on some show, whichever one it's going to be, Ring of Honor or AEW. Defend them on one of the shows and build that Trios division back up, because this is fucking ridiculous. You got 2 pairs of Trios belts, and they both suck. Like, they both suck. No one cares about either one of these belts. So let's put them together, and let's actually make this division what it's supposed to be, because you have plenty of Trios in AEW. So I don't see why it should be so hard to do this, but let's see, because AEW's kind of dropped the ball when it comes to Trios. I'm not even going to lie. So I'm just going to bring that up, but that's on the 0 Hour, okay? You're defending your titles on 0 Hour, which I don't understand that. Instead of having this fucking Jericho and Hook match, you could have this match on your main pay-per-view, which is probably going to be a good match, but it's not on your, actual pay-per-view. But again, I'm not one of these people who thinks 0 Hour is some dead zone where, it's not worth watching. I always watch 0 Hour. The matches are always good. And it's the incentive to buy the pay-per-view. So it's supposed to be enticing for people who are on the fence. So hopefully that match is the bomb, and hopefully Bullet Club Gold are the winners of that, because I can't anymore with these belts. I can't. I know that this match is probably not going to go on this early, but where is it? That's not it. Oh wait, duh. I actually titled them because I'm a smarty pants. And I don't see it here. Where is it? There it is. So, talk about dream matches. Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, one-on-one to see who's the best. That's all I need. I don't even need a title. I don't need a stipulation. I just need this match injected into my veins. I'm going to watch the shit out of this. I expect nothing but another match of the year candidate, because of course Will Ospreay's in the match and Bryan Danielson's in the match. So these two are like hogging up the top 10 this year as far as matches of the years go. So why wouldn't they be up there with this match? So we'll see. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, I think this match is going to be fucking top tier. And that's so I went from the match that I was not looking forward to watching to the match I'm most excited about on the show. So I am going to go with Will Ospreay, because I don't think you're going to beat Will Ospreay right now. And hopefully there's no shenanigans involved, but I'm picking Will, because why not? All right. And next we have Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe, which Adam Copeland is calling them Rated Chicken Hawk. Okay. Rated Chicken Hawk versus the House of Black. So unfortunately, I think this is another L for House of Black, which kind of sucks, because I really, 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 really love them and want them to hold the Trios titles and be Trios champions again and go on another run, because I think they deserve it. Because for some reason, Malachi Black cannot get a singles push. So if he's not going to be in a singles push, he might as well be running roughshod over the Trios division. And that's what I want. So unfortunately, it seems like they're going to lose against this makeshift Trios team instead. So I'm going to pick House of Black, knowing full well that they're not going to win, but that's my pick and I'm sticking to it. So Next up, we got, again, I don't know if these matches are going to be in this order, but we got Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. This match is going to be great. I expect nothing less from these two. And I'm pretty sure Roderick Strong is going to win this, because why would you take the title off of him already when he just got it? So I'm picking Roddy, and that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. Next up, Okada and Pac. Dude, another match that's going to bang. I mean, look at this card so far. Like, 4 matches. And, I mean, dude, look at this shit. Kazuchika Okada versus Pac for the fucking Continental Championship. One thing I love about this show is that we're getting all these championship matches. Like, I love it. I love it because I'm one of those, like, I feel like that's where your championships should be defended, on pay-per-views. That's why you pay for the pay-per-view, to see like culmination of stories and title changes and challengers and all that stuff. So to see all these championships being defended makes me very happy. I highly doubt that Tony Khan is bringing in Okada in here just to beat him on his first pay-per-view. So I'm thinking Okada is going to retain that championship. And but that match is going to fucking bang, just like I believe this match is going to fucking bang. You got the Young Bucks versus FTR in a ladder match for the AEW World Championships. World Tag Team Championships. My God, I can't talk. You know how hard it is to sit here by yourself and talk for, like, how long has this been going on? It's 36 minutes, 40 minutes. It's kind of hard. Sit here talking by yourself. I haven't even had a drink. Hold on. Let me have a drink. Delicious. Dude, ladder match, Bucks, FTR. You had me at hello. Mind you, I know the running joke on this show is the FTR. We're kind of sick of them. Can you go away? It's like the Jericho thing. How can I love you? Or how can I miss you if you won't go away? Right? But take nothing away from FTR. Those dudes are supremely talented. But again, I know some people are sick of them. I'm understanding of that situation, but when they get in the ring, it's gold medals. It's green lights. It's just, the matches are always fantastic. So I'm going to go with the Young Bucks, because
Cody would have had a fuck the revival. Oh.
And that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. Young Bucks, especially with this angle they got going on, the evil CEOs that they're playing. I really don't think that they're gonna, it's time for them to get the titles back. I think it's okay for them to get their titles back at this point. It's been way too long since they've held those belts. So next up, one of the things I'm so happy about is that both women's championships are being defended on this fucking show. Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. It's time for Willow to take that belt. I'm sorry, Julia. I love you. I love the whole gimmick, but it's time for Willow to take this belt, and she should be the one who wrestles Mercedes Moné at the next pay-per-view. Just because of the history that they have together with the New Japan Strong Women's title, it makes perfect sense to me to put it on Willow and then transition into wrestling Mercedes Moné for that belt later. It writes itself. So I'm not sure of how the finish is going to happen, but it should culminate with Willow winning. That's my pick. Next up, can we please? Like, come on. Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. This should be nothing less than an absolute banger in my books. These two women, like, they hit so hard and they just go. Like, I'm very much looking forward to this match. I know there's a subset of people out there who, for some reason, think this isn't going to be good. I don't know why that is, because Toni Storm is an absolute unit and Thunder Rosa is the shiznit. So why this match would not be anything less than excellent, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to watching it. So what everyone else thinks is irrelevant to me, because I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately, As much as I love Thunder Rosa, I don't think she's going to be the one to dethrone Toni Storm yet. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong about that. And this is one of the matches where I feel like it's up in the air. Like, it all depends on what Tony's got next up his sleeve as far as the booking goes. But it could go either way. But I think Toni Storm is going to retain her belt. So we'll see. Either way, I know it's going to be entertaining. And then finally, in the main event, we got Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. Listen, the way they've built this up has been fantastic. The story they've told here with Swerve and Hangman and Joe, just, how they got here when they went through that whole thing has been phenomenal. This past week on Dynamite, when Swerve stomped like 8 people at one time over the top rope, that was amazing. It's time. It's time to put the belt on Swerve. We've been waiting for this. We've been wanting this. I don't give a fuck what your personal opinion is on these people. Like, hey, listen, bro. It's one thing that you're not gonna get from me is like political beliefs and as long as these people are not hurting anybody or doing anything illegal or any of that shit, like, I don't care what they do with their personal life, bro. So I'm about what they're doing on the show. They're entertainers, bro. I don't need to be all up in their personal life and in their personal beliefs. Like, I don't give a shit about that. So any problem that anyone has with Swerve, that's on you. I don't get involved in that shit. I don't care. What I care about is what's relevant to my television. So this match, to me, I'm looking very much forward to this. I believe it's time for Swerve to be the champion. It's going to be the first black AEW heavyweight champion. I think that's more than appropriate. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see his reign. I want to see him wrestling, all these people. I want to see him wrestling Pac. I would say Kenny Omega, but Kenny Omega's on the shelf for a while. I want him to run it back with Adam Page. I want him to wrestle everybody. MJF. Everybody. Put that fucking belt on Swerve and let him run. Let him run with it. That's what I want to see. So that's the card, man. I think I might have missed a match somewhere. I think I heard a rumbling about Katsuyori Shibata and Orange Cassidy being added to the pre-show. I think there's also a Big Shotty Lee Johnson match on the pre-show, which, watch out for him. They're slowly building that dude up into something. And he's very talented. I think he can be huge, bro. He had a really good match on ROH this past week. So if you get a chance, you should watch that. But yeah, this show's gonna be dope. I mean, I'm super hyped, ready to go. I really got nothing else for you guys. I think that's pretty much it. I gotta watch this Nick game because this. Oh my god, I'm like purposely not turning the game on because sometimes I feel like I'm a jinx. But this is it. This is the playoffs. This is a whole different thing. The Knicks are ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 181 of Wrestling is Trash. I may upload this. I may not. I don't know. We'll see. I probably will upload it just for shits and giggles, just to get something out there. But listen, Nick will be back next week. We'll be going over this Dynasty card, and we'll be talking about a bunch of other shit that we missed. So, be on the lookout for that. As always, follow us on Instagram at Wrestling is Trash. From there, you can hit the link in the bio, and you'll get access to all of our content, including the Wrestling is Trash YouTube page, which you see behind me. That's sitting up on my screen, where you can watch countless hours of Wrestling is Trash content. Look at all that stuff. Look at all the stuff I'm clicking on. Look at all these videos. Look at all this stuff. All the past episodes of Wrestling is Trash. You can watch them all for free and at no cost to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us once again. I am Lou from the BX, your host, your co-host, whatever you want to call me. And we appreciate you all so much. We thank you for joining us. And as always, enjoy wrestling, guys.